Well, good morning, Kibiku and Mike. Warm and bright Thursday morning here at Ahero in Kisumu County, perhaps in resemblance to the likely warmth awaiting President Uhuru Kenyatta in a territory where a few months ago he was not a very welcome guest as at the time of the acrimonious 2017 polls. This is going to be the first stop for the president when he comes visiting here an hour or so from now, where he is expected to begin with the launch of this Ahero interchange. And as you can see, a lot of preparations ongoing here in terms of the reception. A few of the construction workers still doing what they've been doing for quite some time in anticipation of this big day and this big launch. Remember, after he leaves Ahero, the president is expected to go by road and make a stopover at Ahero town, as well as, what's the name of that town, Mheshimiwa, again? Nyamasaria town, before heading to Kisumu, where there is going to be the big launch of the universal healthcare pilot program that is targeting, besides Kisumu County, also Isiolo, Nyeri, and Machakos. It is a day that is expected to be charged with not only talk about development, but a lot of politics too, given that this visit comes only a few months after the now famous March 9th cooperation deal between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his 2017 chief political competitor, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. I have spotted a few members of Deputy President William Ruto's team here, and word has it that he too will be accompanying the president here. That makes it even more interesting politically, because post the March 9th cooperation deal, there has been a lot of talk about the clash between the supporters of the two political supremos, so to speak, over 2022 politics. But besides that, let's talk a little about the few projects that the president will be launching here. Let me speak to the area member of parliament, Jared Okello, the MP for Nyando. The president is visiting your home turf. Your constituents excited about it. What do you expect the president to address when he comes visiting here?
Well, thank you very much. We welcome the president wholeheartedly, together with his entire delegation. We do expect to have several cabinet ministers, and as you have already alluded, the deputy president may also be part of the entourage. So we do expect to have full government in Kisumu, together with the Right Honorable Prime Minister, who is actually the host within the area. The governor of Kisumu will also be here. But apart from opening the interchange and commissioning this road that is heading all the way to Hispania, we also expect him to address issues of flooding. At the moment as we speak, 500 families have been displaced from their homes, courtesy of the pounding rains currently in this region. That is an integral section that we would want him to fully address. Because again, we have the Nyando River embankment that wasn't completed. We still have about 4 to 6 kilometers to get to the tip of Lake Victoria. So that is an issue that we shall be addressing together with him and see whether that is an area he may want to delve into. On agricultural front, we want to discuss the sugarcane crisis. All our sugar companies are reeling on their knees, so we expect him to talk about it and perhaps inject more impetus towards this.
A quick one, Mheshimiwa. The political significance of this visit, this would potentially be described as the hotspot for the resistance campaign against President Uhuru Kenyatta's re-election, and even the resistance agenda that saw the boycotts and the protests. This was the hotspot, Kisumu, so to speak. And many have been asking if the president and the former prime minister will address the emotive issue of compensation. Perhaps from your meeting yesterday, because I know you met as the Nyanza leaders, and of course from the planning of this visit, is the president going to address that very emotive issue?
We wouldn't wish to put into fray issues that are peripheral to this particular visit. We take cognizance of the fact that Kisumu is one of the counties that have been earmarked for the pilot project of the universal healthcare. And for us, that is a very, very big boost, where our families will be able to access medical care from level 1 to level 5, basically for free. And if there is any degree of payment that should be remitted to health institutions, then it is quite affordable. So we don't want to bring into issues that have the potential to water down.
And you have a bodyguard behind you.
Yeah, yeah, he's having a sweet time. So we do expect to have, pertinent issues to be discussed. Yes, issues of compensations are key. But at this point in time, we know that the BBI, the Building Bridges Initiative, courtesy of both the President and the Prime Minister, are looking into ethnic antagonism as one of the areas. So we hope it will be a broad-based idea, a broad-based discussion going forward, not just for Kisumu, but for the entire country.
Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa. It is a conversation we will continue to have for the better part of the day as Nyanza anticipates that visit by President Uhuru Kenyatta. A lot of excitement before I hand over to you, Zinzi. And as you can see, even behind me, part of the pictures we are used to seeing in the ODM rallies also making their way to the president's expected first spot as he lands in Kisumu. A very important visit, so to speak, politically, because it is one that is going to ultimately seal that cooperation deal between the president and opposition chief Raila Odinga. Back to you, Mike and Kibiku in studio.
Thank you so much, Murimi Mwangi, our political affairs reporter in Kisumu, ahead of President Uhuru Kenyatta's big visit, the biggest story for the day, and our newsroom will be keeping an eye on it. Quite interesting there. People seem to be excited. Let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, this being Thursday, we'll dive into black and white, the conversation, boys to men. A conversation that will be spearheaded by Pastor Simon Bailey as well as Susan Minor. I'll be introducing them when we come back from this break. Plus, our phone lines will be open so you at home can be part of this conversation. We'll be right back.